Okay, so we're going to try something different, do a little commentary this time. So this section was, initially it looked a lot more intimidating than it actually rode. Gotta admit, I was a little hesitant about it at first, but it turned out to be a lot of fun, and it was probably one of my favorite sections of the day. So coming up here, coming up to this rock, I'm going to use a little RSG basically, a little ride technique. For those of you that don't know what that is, check out Neil Price, Mind on Matter, on YouTube, on Facebook. Awesome advice, awesome training. Anyway though, going to come over this log, try to keep it tight. Gotta come around here, little float to the right, up and over again, and we're pretty much out. Yeah, it turned out to be a lot of fun. Okay, this section, you know what, I set myself up wrong every time coming up the hill. Last loop of the day, I did manage to clean it, but yeah, it gave me trouble. At least a single dab every time, a couple times multiple dabs. So coming up here, I should set myself up just slightly more to the right than I do. And instead it puts this corner too tight and just can't manage it without putting a foot down.
I'll come this way, run you over. Alright, I'm on the way.
Okay, this one was, I love this section. This fits my riding style perfectly. And this section is always a favorite of mine. It was a favorite when I rode it a couple years ago in intermediate, and it's a favorite of mine now as a sportsman rider. I love it. So again, back there, pretty much just ride technique. Here, everybody else was dropping down on the front, and I chose to just kind of sky it a little bit. Everybody was seeming to take about the same distance in matter of technique, and to me, that was a lot smoother. I don't like the feeling of going over the bars, so if I can avoid it, I'm going to. Anyway, come up to this, just float a little bit over on it. This time wasn't bad, but I hit the bash plate on that a few times. Sorry, bike. Anyway, up and over this and out, and yeah, I really like this section. It was a lot of fun. Okay, this one, we had a little bit of controversy my first time through. I rode this section differently than almost everybody else in my class. It's totally a good line, totally valid, but there was a little bit of confusion at first. Anyway, again, coming up this log really suits my strong points as a rider, so I was looking at this and I'm like, yeah, I want to come around here, I want to hit this sucker, you know. I know other guys were avoiding it, but to me, this is just fun, and so I love this. You know, these small, just short lifted logs, nothing too big, but, you know, for me, that's about I don't know, I just like it. It's fun. It's fun to hop over them. So I did. And anyway, coming up here, this is really tight. Not a fan, but it's a good challenge. There's some loose debris that gets rolled out, and that really sucks when that happens, and it did later on. Anyway, we're gonna come over here, and this one, I had it fairly straight on this time, but I enjoyed floating out over this one too, really kicking the bike sideways and just hopping it. Okay, this section wasn't so bad. There's actually a line in here I didn't even see until I think maybe like my last loop. It's not a line I would actually consider because, again, I like hopping over the logs that are a little bit lifted, and so it would have been less fun for me to do the easy route. But yeah, anyway, coming over here, this was a tricky spot, and this was probably the hardest part of the section. There's some rocks on the other side, and you hit this just wrong, and it does want to try to throw you over the handlebars, or at least wash the front end out. So from there, then some guys were going off to the right. Didn't even know that was an option. Should have assumed, but I was just like, hey, I'm a sportsman, I'm on a Vertigo, let's just go over the stupid log, right? So I did.
We'll see what happens.
Okay, this one, section 6. From what I hear, it caught a lot of riders off guard. I know a lot of the guys I ride with said they definitely had some problem with it, and I definitely almost went over the bars too. So there's a little log coming up right here on the left. I'll be crossing it in just a second. And just the way the ground dips down to it and the way you ride over it, it wants to just catch your bash plate and just throw you right over the bars. And I watched it happen to a few people, including some riders way better than me. And so it was definitely the surprise section of the day for difficulty. Coming up here, some of this crap in the ditch caught me off guard, so I ended up following sections, kind of going past it. It made this corner a lot tighter, but hey, a little bit of gas and the bike just pops right over this, so not a big deal being set up a little bit tighter. Okay, so this section, My first year riding as intermediate, I got lost in this section like 3 out of 4 times. Took 5s, it was horrible. And yeah, this event as sportsman, yeah, no different. I still ended up missing a marker once and taking a 5 in this section. I learned my lesson, came back, did better. Right here, I did get off to the left a little bit too far. I have to put a foot down and dab, get over that. Right there, yep, right there, there it is. Anyway, other than that, it was a fun section. I really liked it. This section coming up here, this is fun. So we're gonna go through the ditch, and there's a couple kind of loose branches in the ditch. A lot of guys were kind of going out wide into the woods and coming at them straight or avoiding them. I'm just like, heck yeah, let's just float over these suckers, throw the bike over. It was a lot of fun. It felt really, really cool. I'm sure it could have got me some points if it was a little more slippery out or if I screwed it up, but I didn't, and it was fun. Okay, section 8. This section, it's really cool, but it's long. There's a lot of markers, and I didn't get lost in it, but man, it would be so easy to just like, oh crap, wait, where was I supposed to go again? Every time I found myself thinking about, wait, what, am I in the right spot or not? So anyway, we're coming down the hill, coming over this, we're gonna make a turn, and it's up the hill and over a log. I'm in second gear right now, just revving it up. Now I'm starting to bring the revs up, slip the clutch more, pop the clutch, hop, jump over that. That's a lot of fun. And from here, we're going to drop down over this little ledge. Be real careful because it'd be really easy to overrun this next corner. Alright, come around this corner. It's really easy to wash out the front end here. You can see it actually pushed on me there, but I was able to keep my balance. That was kind of sloppy clutch technique on my part this time. But it was definitely easy to cause trouble there. Definitely was causing trouble for some of the riders a couple classes lower. Saw people sliding out, and they had just reason to. It was a little slippery on this hill. Okay, this section, it looks easy, but it got points out of me most loops. It got at least a dab or 2 out of me. Kind of embarrassing doing it. Actually, our new, we finally have a Vertigo dealer in the area. And of course, he's the guy that's scoring this section, and of course I'm going to make myself look stupid on a Vertigo in front of the Vertigo guy. But, oh well, it was still fun.
Coming right where you guys are. In theory, at least.
We come through here, veer a little bit to the left just to give ourselves a little bit more room to corner. Don't want to go out into the water, into the swampy, soft stuff. Right here, screwed up a little bit. Gonna come up and over these. This corner's kind of tight. Bike does great. Power modulation's real good on the bike and just lets you go through that real easy. Here I'm gonna rev just a little bit. Up and over those. Up and over these again. And we're out. Not too bad of a section, but it just got points out of me every time. Okay, last section. This one is fun. So I'm going to come up here, I'm going to do a little floater, not because I have to, but just because it's fun. Just a tiny float. Coming around, back over the log. Come out here. I'm going to go over, and I'm going to go a little bit further out. Make the corner here. Back over it, little double log there. Alright, so I'm going to start revving the bike, bring the RPMs up, pop the clutch, jump, get over that log. Coming over here, again a small little kind of floatish type maneuver, just because. Coming around here, now there's a telephone pole coming up. I do have to go over that. I don't have to go over the second log, but I'm trying to get better, so the more I can challenge myself, the better. I don't care about points. It's good practice, and I was able to clean it, so heck yeah.